have recently uploaded a new cinematic portrait video that I have shot with my Sony ZV-E10 in S-Log3 S-Gamut 3. Although after uploading the video on YouTube, I found out that YouTube has totally ruined the colors, saturation and sharpness of my original video. However, the fault was mine. I exported a high bitrate version to check out on my computer and forgot to export a version with the YouTube recommended settings. And I uploaded the high bitrate version, and as usual, YouTube has compressed the video even harder. And as I have premiered the video and couldn't check it before the release, so when I watched the video during the premiere along with two of you guys, I found out the problem, but it was too late. So that's a lesson learned the hard way. So if you want to maintain the quality of your videos after uploading it on YouTube, then make sure to export your videos in the YouTube recommended settings, and even better, check the video once after uploading it on YouTube to make sure everything is perfect before releasing it to the public. If you want to learn more about the best export settings, then check out my video on bitrate where I have explained it in detail. Basically, if you upload a video on YouTube having a higher bitrate than the YouTube recommended one, then YouTube compresses that video even harder to save up space on their servers, and as a result, the quality of the video gets degraded despite the higher bitrate of the original video. So that's kind of counterintuitive. So don't make this mistake. If you want to maintain the highest video quality after upload, just stick to the YouTube recommended settings to get the best possible result. Here is the video once again in proper YouTube recommended settings, and let's see if the quality remains good. The video is just around 30 seconds, so check it out and then we will come back and discuss the video in detail.
Lights are shining bright. My friends are in the club, we'll go all night. I see you in the back, the mood is right. If I just had your number, I would let you know how I feel. You walk up to me, start dancing to the music, energies like this was meant to be. Take my hand, I feel my heart beat, and I don't want this moment to stop.
So I wanted to do a new shoot with my Sony ZV-E10 in all natural light without using any extra additional lights or even any light modifiers, not even a reflector or a bounce board. In this shoot, I haven't used any gimbal for my camera as this was a totally no budget shoot. Basically, I wanted to test the capabilities of my Sony ZV-E10 when pushed to the limits. We didn't even have a professional makeup artist with us. The model Sumi did her own makeup and wardrobe. I have worked with her previously on a lot of projects, so definitely make sure to check out her Instagram and give her a follow. Even the last video that I did with my Sony ZV-E10 was also with her. That shoot was done to test the camera and see how it performs indoors and in a controlled studio kind of environment. Whereas this shoot was absolute run and gun style and done impromptu. You can also check out the previous video on my channel if you haven't yet. I'll put the link in the video description below. As I wanted to test how the Sony ZV-E10 performs in a run and gun all natural light shoot without any additional fancy gears, just the bare bones, the camera, the lens, and a filter and a handle grip. After checking the footage on my computer, I'm literally impressed by the performance of this tiny little camera. Although it definitely has some quirks, we'll talk about them in a moment, but for the price, I think it's a really good camera that you can consider for casual to intermediate filmmaking purposes. Now for the color grading, I have tried to achieve a custom Kodak 2383 film print emulation with lots of deep dense colors. Although the 8-bit 420 footage is really hard to work with, especially when an ND filter is used, the colors quickly fall apart, and this kind of heavy grades are really not suited for such 8-bit footage. Instead, you can go for a much more subdued look and you can easily get amazing results. Maybe in a professional project, I would go for a much more simpler look like this one. However, for this grade, my objective was to push the footage to its limits to see the outcome, and the result is not bad considering it's shot in all natural light. If I had used at least a 5-in-1 reflector to bounce back some light onto the subject, then I think the skin colors could have been better and the subject would have popped a bit more. As you can see, there are a lot of green fields around, and all of that were bouncing back green onto the skin of the model. So using a white bounce would have been better. Next time, I'll do another shoot to explain that as well. Moreover, I don't recommend shooting in S-Log3 with this camera. The 100mbps 8-bit 420 4K footage simply doesn't capture enough data to push and pull in color grading. It quickly falls apart if pushed a bit more, and it introduces color noise, artifacts and inconsistencies, especially in the skin tones that I had to manage with other techniques in color grading. I'll make a separate and dedicated video about the color grading of this video, so I'll talk about it in detail in that video. Now let's talk about the gears that I've used in this shoot. Obviously the camera was the Sony ZV-E10. It's the same camera that I'm using right now as well to shoot this video. It's my YouTube camera, and for this video I'm using the kit lens. I recorded the video in 4K in 23.976 frames per second. I used the PP9 picture profile, that is the S-Log3 S-Gamut 3. I used S-Log3 for this shoot to get the maximum dynamic range, but apart from the color artifacts and banding issues, in S-Log3 the camera produces a lot of grains and you have to use heavy noise reduction to clean up the image, and in turn the footage becomes softer. So from next time I'll try some other picture profiles to see if the camera produces better result. I think we can squeeze out better image quality from this camera using S-Log2 or the HLG picture profiles. At this moment I'm recording this video in HLG3 picture profile, so we will see how it turns out. For that entire shoot I used the Viltrox 23mm f1.4 lens in wide open aperture. Obviously the shutter speed was at 1/50th and the ISO was at the base ISO, that is ISO 500 for S-Log3 in Sony ZV-E10. I have used a Kodak variable ND filter to use the lens at its widest aperture and a Hiffin C-bracket handheld grip to get somewhat stable footage. Link to all these products are in the video description below, so if you want to buy any of these products then definitely check out the links in the video description below. I'll also make separate videos on all these products. As I shot the video in broad daylight, so I tried to shoot it between 7 am and 10 am in the morning and 3 pm to 5 pm in the afternoon when the sun shines from a lower angle and we get a cinematic look naturally. I kept her mostly in the shades and used the sun as backlight for most of the shots. That way I got even lighting on her face and avoided direct harsh sunlight on her face. And shooting backlit is always more cinematic. I also told her to wear a red dress that I knew would pop in contrast to the green fields, and it also helped me achieve the Kodak 2383 film look, as it usually produces deep dense reds. So if you get your basics right in camera, the exposure, white balance, focus, composition, etc., then you can easily get high quality cinematic footage from this camera or any other camera for that matter. I'm even planning to make a complete narrative short film with this camera only, so that will be an interesting thing to see. So that's what I wanted to share in this video, that if you know the basics and you have the skills, then you can get great looking footage with minimal gears. So if you want to learn filmmaking, cinematography, color grading, or even VFX, then you can join SkillShare. SkillShare is an online learning platform where you will get detailed, high quality, step-by-step video courses on these topics and even more. So if you want to upgrade your skills, then definitely check out SkillShare from the link in the video description below and get a free trial. I'll be making more videos related to this shoot in the upcoming days, so if you have any queries, then feel free to leave them in the comment section below and I'll definitely try to answer them in my future videos.